Hello, this is Jeff from MiraCheck. Today I wanted to show an advanced new feature of the cloud editor that allows you to do pretty much, you're getting the source code of your checklist in a text format, and you can do things like maybe you want to find and replace across the whole checklist, for example. And today I'll show an example of that. So what you do, if I get out of this checklist, right from the menu you can export now to JSON format. And JSON is similar to CSV, although it's a more advanced type of structure. So CSV is for rows and columns of data. JSON lets you store hierarchical content. And if you look and think of MiraCheck, it's an outline of content. So JSON is the base file behind the scenes that manages all that. So what we're going to do, we're going to export to JSON, and it basically names the file whatever your name is of your checklist, and it adds a UTC timestamp on that file. I'm just going to keep that, and we now have this JSON format. So to edit this, you can use any text editor. I would highly recommend a text editor that developers use. Microsoft has a great free tool you can download called Visual Studio Code. You can just Google that. And this is the Visual Studio Code editor, and it does very well with JSON files. So I'm going to basically just, you could open it, but I'm going to just drag and drop my file into the editor, and I'm not going to get into the details of JSON, but it's a text file of hierarchical information, and you can quickly see if you wanted to get into it. Label 1 ignition switch, label 1 avionics power switch. That's the content for each of those items. So we're going to do a search and replace. I'm going to search for a slash, and I'm going to replace it with space slash space. Why am I doing that? Let me go back just to show why I'm doing that. So I have a pet peeve when I have content. This is from the POH. If I look at this content, you'll see like vents, cabin air. There's no spaces here. I just think it visually looks better and it's easier to read when there's a little space between those. So I'm going to do that search and replace throughout the whole checklist to find any ones like that. And that's what we're going to do over here. So I'm basically searching for a slash, and I'm going to replace it with space slash space. And the first one it finds, I actually don't want that one replaced. So you can just go to the next one with this down arrow here, and or I actually don't want that one either. So I'm going to go down 300 feet per minute. I don't want that one either. I'm going to go down. Here's the first case of where I do want it. So I'm going to basically just replace, replace. Another one I want to do, replace. Another one, replace, 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 replace. Don't want to do that one. Do want to do that one. So there you go. Now I'm going to just save the file. And now we can just go back into MiraCheck. And under import now, and this is for Pro plan subscribers only, you can import this JSON format. So I'm going to choose the file, and there it is. And the way it names it, it won't hurt the checklist that you exported, because you may have made some mistakes and now you've hurt your main checklist. So it's basically creating you a new card. It names it the same, but then it adds when it was imported, again, a UTC timestamp at the end of it. And you can now go edit that. And if you want, you could then just remove that imported thing. And if we now look, and if I search for slash again, that one wasn't replaced, but there we go. There were ones replaced. So it looks exactly how I'd want it to look. So there's more advanced things you could do in that JSON format, but this is a very common use case of maybe you want to do a search and replace across all that content.